Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Sim Race for Simpletons. Round 3 of the winter season live from Interlagos. I'm James Parfitt, going to be joined in the booth by one Mr. Alex Goldschmidt here this evening as well for 32 laps of action of the most amazing circuit ever. I love Interlagos. It is my favorite circuit of all time. We have just gone into qualifying, gives us just enough time to run through everything that happened last time out. We go into Monza, and at this moment in time it was Alex Merchant out in front who took the victory last time out. So Alex Merchant there was the victor in Monza, and he come through and took the victory. JT Smeaton was in second, and Tim Perry rounds out third place. Braden Carroll in fourth. Pole position was Adam Merchant. Fastest lap was Tim Perry. So great job from him. Going into scores on the doors at this moment in time in the driver standings. Well, funny enough, it's Adam Merchant out in front with 62 points, and JT Smeaton on 54, with Tim Perry on 46 and Carson Keane in fourth on 44. Then Braden Carroll, Jeff Groff, Josh Benjamin, Frankie Alvello, Anthony Zitch, Nick Dwarnick, Gabriel Hopp, Frankie Brzezowski, Seth MacFarlane and Chris Sears, with Eamon Haig rounding out the top 15. And you got Brian Long, Matt Voorhees, Joel Bequero, Jake Katz, Nathan C., Blake Toe, Bryce Benton, Christian Jasper, Noble Emil, Peter Vendeg and Chad Peterson on that one at the same time. In the team standings at this moment, it is Daddy Mike and the boys out in front on 84 points, with Max Altitude on 63, then Camber Simsports on 58. We've also got Torta Racing, FNG, Ghost Squadron, Platano Power SRT in 8th place. Halo Tracks Toyota, Rush Hour Racing and Glee finish off the final spot there as well. I have just heard that there is a rolling oh no, it's not a rolling start on that one, so thank God for that one. Alex has joined me into the booth here this evening. Alex, welcome in. How are you?
Good evening, James. Good evening, everybody. Yes, by the skin of my underwear, I am here.
Skin of your underwear.
Well, considering the fact I've just rushed from Heathrow Airport to get back in time. So there you go, folks. Can't keep a good commentator down.
No, very much so on that one. We've just gone through the scores, we've gone through the bits at the moment, and now we are entering into qualifying here at Interlagos. My favourite circuit, gotta be honest, out of every circuit that we ever go to, Interlagos is the one for me.
Yeah, and it's got a lot of history. It was opened back in May of 1940. It measures just over 4.3 kilometres. It's 15 turns, and the version that we're using is the 5th variation that's been in use since 1999. And it's seen a lot go on, especially with the "is that Glock" moment.
Yes. Oh, the conspiracy of the wonderful Toyota and Glock moment.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, it should be a good one. Really looking forward to it, and it's going to provide some scintillating action. Notwithstanding the fact that we've already had that both at Mugello at the season opener, and then of course the Temple of Speed in Monza last week, and now we go to the what I like to call the Brazilian pudding bowl, so to speak. It is very much in a big old chasm, isn't it? You know, and when rain falls here at Interlagos, watch out, unless your name's Max Verstappen and you can keep it sideways in a Toro Rosso.
Yep, absolutely. I think that's the one of the things that we get to enjoy. But at this moment in time, on the weather side of things, we're dry with 0% chance of rain, Mr. Goldschmidt. 150 15 degrees Fahrenheit track temperature at the moment. We're on board with Gabriel Hopp sitting in third place. Braden Carroll's just took second, and Adam Merchant is in first on a 1:16.147. So he is flying. Don't forget, push to pass is active here this evening, and well, to be fair, is there really only one place to use the push to pass?
I'd say there's multiple. I mean, coming out of Subirida's boxes heading into turn 14, and then you can use that all the way through into the center S's at turn 1. You then got coming out of Curva de Sol at turn 3, then down the Retro Aposta into Desira del Lago. That's another perfect opportunity. You might even be able to use it up towards Ferradura when you come out of the double left at Desira del Lago, and that'll be a short application. So there's more than just one opportunity that these drivers can use in order to bring in the P2P.
Yeah, my only fear of using it anywhere else other than coming out of Juncao up through Subida the boxes is basically you're going to be a sitting duck running into turn 1. We saw some of the strength for the draft last time out at Monza, and literally there was people making overtakes without it. I'm just worried if they use it for anywhere else out of Juncao up that run into the center S's. They could just be a bit of a standing roadblock, and I think I'm wondering whether or not Juncao Subido might be the best place, whether you're defending or attacking, to be honest, because I do worry, Alex, that they will just get eaten alive running up there otherwise.
Yeah, eaten alive by a Sim Racing for Simpletons Wolfpack closing in on them, if you want to use that kind of vernacular. But yeah, it is. I think it's always down to personal preference. You know, if you've got the cojones to use it coming out of Desira del Lago into Ferradura, you're a very, very brave individual, because you've really got to sort of like line it up for La Regina, Ese Pinarino, and Bico Tapato as well, a very technical part of the circuit. And then it's through Mergulo and Juncao where you really start to accelerate. But then Juncao is a 90 left, so again, you're not going to use it coming out of Mergulo. So it's about personal preference. So it's the kind of sitting on the fence situation maybe for some of the drivers, but then you get splinters in your backside, as we all know.
Yeah, but I think here's got to be the certain areas, you say, that run up through Ferradura coming into SA Pinarino. It's all going to be very, very technical, and you aren't going to want to worry about pushing a button at the same time. One of the things I am worried about is what we saw earlier on when their little brothers were out on the racetrack. The line from SA to Pinarino, and the outside line especially, got absolutely caked in rubber and marbles, and at one point we saw too wide. They tried it 3 times, and every single time the person on the outside hit them marbles and went round, did a lovely pirouette, you know. And I just think that if they haven't watched that, they could be in deep trouble, because you don't want to go through here. You can see some of the marble line now going in. They go through too wide. I am worried that them marbles under these cars and this power is going to just put them straight round.
Well, I mean, if you go off the racing line coming out of Curva de Sol and into Reta Aposta, I mean, if you go too wide in that's going to be tricky, especially if you're on the dirty stuff. And obviously with the new debris model that has been introduced in the last few weeks, it has caused drama. And it has caused drama for our drivers as well, notwithstanding. So you can see all the rubber pickup coming out of turn 14 through Subirida's boxes. There's a lot of rubber down there at the moment. But more to the point, we're due to have 22 cars on the grid for 32 laps of this circuit. And we're into the final 60 seconds. And Adam Merchant, once again, well, he's only gone and done it 3 times in a row. He's put it on provisional pole.
Yeah, he has at the moment. Pablo Uribe, welcome in. Interlagos always delivers a great show. Mate, I love this circuit. By far, hands down, the best circuit. I've got some information on Josh Benjamin. He's only just got in from work, so he will be starting from pit lane due to lack of practice. Me personally, don't worry about pit lane. Just pop it on the back end. You know what I mean? I think that's the thing for Josh Benjamin.
Yeah, exactly. And for those people that have joined us here on the JP Broadcasting Network, if you haven't already, please give us a like, please share, and also please subscribe. We're getting closer and closer to the magical 3K mark at the moment. It's taken us a little while to get there, but the more the merrier, as they say, JP.
Yeah, definitely. We seem to be sort of crawling at the same rate, which is I'm happy about, to be blatantly honest. Every year we seem to end up with 1,000 more new subscribers. So there we go. Into the race we go. Grid is up.
So for the third time in a row, round 3 sees Adam Merchant start from pole position, JT Smeaton alongside in the front row. Elliot Court and Jeff Groff on row 2. Hometown hero Gabriel Hopp starts on the inside of row 3 with Tim Perry alongside in 6th place. Chris Sears and Braden Carroll ran out row 4 with Carson Keane and Frankie Brzezowski rounding out the top 10. Frankie Arvello and Anthony Zitch ran out row number 6. Max Voorhees and Brian Long, row 7. Christian Jasper and Joel Peguero on row 8. Jake Katz and Nick Dvornik on row 9. Blake Toe and Eamon Hake round out the top 20 with Josh Benjamin and Matthew Short rounding out the grid. 32 laps of this 4.309 kilometre, 2.677 mile circuit, 15 turns. And everyone's starting to grid up, waiting for Adam Merchant to jump onto pole position. Gabriel Hopp, Braden Carroll and Brian Long. But the all-important run down to the Senna S's is going to be crucial. You can't win on the first corner, but you can certainly lose a lot of positions, especially if we go 3 wide. You'll have someone who'll be piggy in the middle, more to the point. But we're just waiting for our pole sitter, Adam Merchant, to jump on to the grid, and once he's done so, we will be underway under starters orders and waiting for those iconic 5 lights to come onto the gantry. So he hasn't got long left, but can Adam do the three-peat here tonight, JP? That's the big question.
Yeah, we're going to find out, aren't we? Let's be well. Welcome in Mr. Andy Flynn, who is in there. 35 laps of IGP. Figured I'll pop in and watch this Super Formula race. Greetings, he says.
Well, without further ado, we're under starters orders. The 5 red lights are on, and they're out. And round 3 of Sim Racing for Simpletons Winter Series gets underway. And once again, leading the way is Adam Merchant. It is 3 wide, but Elliot Court kept it round the outside. A couple of drivers going wide. We are 3 abreast towards the second half of the field, as it's side by side between Frankie Brzezowski and Carson Keane as they go into Reto Aposta for the first time. Brzezowski goes to the inside, Keane to the outside, and that's Chris Sears closing in. And Carson Keane better not keep the door open coming into Interlagos, and he's lost the place already. Nice work there by Chris Sears to get through.
Yeah, Frankie Brzezowski, Chris Sears, Carson Keane, they're getting it off the line. Braden Carroll doing a great job, but Adam Merchant out in front. There's that line we were talking about off Free Pinorino. We did see some wonderful Super Formula lights spin around there when they were trying to attempt it too wide. Jeff Groff, unfortunately, he's got the hometown hero of Gabriel Hopp, tucked him right behind them for the first time run now through Mugello down into Juncal. There's been an incident at the back. Brian Long, Frankie Arvello and Blake Toe have all had a little ta-ta-ta, should we say, and has gone and caused themselves a problem.
Well, here's the replay, and oh dear, Brian's turning in, and let's see, it's going to be, well, we're going to have to wait for it. Brian just dive bombs, bang, and oh dear, gets a second twist, and Frankie Arvello loses his front wing in the process.
Yeah, not great. Not great, mate, but I think at the end of the day, you know, action will be action, and boys will be boys, and racing drivers will be racing drivers.
And you can't keep a good racing driver down, especially when they're racing at such a circuit like this here at Interlagos. So we are halfway through lap number 2, and Adam Merchant has a lead of about 0.4 of a second ahead of JT Smeaton. Elliot Court in the number 23 from the UK rounds out the top 3. Jeff Groff running strong, but has Gabriel Hopp, who's... And I have to say, I love the livery on Gabriel Hopp's car. The colours of Brazil on the number 29 from FNG Racing. And he should know... Well, he knows this circuit like the back of his hand. So who knows what might happen in the next 30 laps as the leaders come around Stabilitas boxes and head into turn 14, then the slight left-hand kink as they're going to be at full speed, and Gabriel Hop is on the push to pass, dives to the inside, close to the wall, and through he goes on Jeff Groff. Nice work there by Gabriel, using that push to pass at the right place at the right time.
Yeah, Merchant's just made a horrible mistake into one. Through the centre rest as they go onto the Reda Raposta now. Smeaton's going to tuck in right behind him. This is where we're going to find out whether or not Smeaton's got any PTP. He's not coming down the outside. There's contact.
Oh.
Smeaton's on the grass. He's gone off. Oh, Merchant's off at the same time.
And Elliot Court, as a direct correlation, has just taken the race lead. Well, it was going to come to it that at some point, I had a feeling that we'd come to somewhere, and JT Smeaton and Adam Merchant would end up coming into blows, and it happens on lap 3.
Sorry, he's on the outside. He's got no grip. You can see it's really hard, but we don't want to sit back in the mid. We're right there, but you see JT trying to put the power on the outside of Pinerino, and literally he had nothing. He was just trying to crawl up over marbles. Oh, that corner. Ooh, single file, Alex, single file.
Yes, and our good friend says all the time you must leave the space. Yes, a la Fernando Alonso. But nevertheless, the good thing is that both Merchant and Smeaton didn't lose too many places on that, but no surprise, JT Smeaton is going to be repairing damage, and he is in pit lane at the minute. So, well, JT Smeaton could be at a risk of losing second in the championship in the driver's standings heading into the next round. And more to the point, well, there's Braden Carroll. We saw a really good showing from him at the opening round at Mugello, and he is closing in on our resident doctor, Mr. Keane, as they go into Desida de Lago at turn 4 and 5 up the hill and accelerating. 4th gear now up to 5th, and then they're going to bang down the gearbox heading into La Regina and Ferradura right now, and you can just see nice and smooth there from Braden. He was running at 4th gear before going to SA at turn number 8, before into Pinerino at turn 9, and then the good old Pico de Pato, the Duck's Bill as it's known in English. Frankie Brzezowski trying to close in on Adam Merchant. Tim Perry from Max Attitude is currently in 4th place. Tim was very happy to get a podium last time out at Monza, despite the fact he was in contention for the race win. But Adam Merchant, watch out for him over the next 28 laps as Ethan Court completes lap number 4 as we head on to lap 5 out of 32. But great drama so far, let's say, James.
Yeah, but to be fair, they've been so close together over the first few rounds. I'm surprised this is the only bit of contact we've seen. I've got to be honest, I thought we might have seen more between them all season. Merchant, I'm a little bit worried, has not pulled it into Perry. If anything, Perry's opened up that gap. Brzezowski seems to be more comfortable with Chris Sears tucked up right behind him in his gearbox than he is going forward. But Merchant does not look like he's got the pace. I do wonder if he's carrying damage from that contact with Smeaton, and that is the problem with them cars. But yeah, not good. Not a good start, unfortunately, for Merchant. If he is carrying damage, he's better off going in, getting it repaired like Smeaton did to come back out, because he could just be a little bit of a sitting duck here. So let's see how this one pans out. But at the moment, caught out in front, Hop, Groff, Perry, Merchant, Brzezowski and Chris Sears. So great job from all of them. Adam got damage for sure, maybe not a big one, but uncomfortable for the race. Absolutely, I agree with you. Pablo Uribe must have copped damage on that one, because he is losing time to Perry, where Sears and Brzezowski are pulling him in like a carp on a fishing line.
Yeah, hook, line and sinker and all at the minute. More to the point, yeah, when we saw Merchant and Smeaton have that contact, there was right tyre to left side pod, so I think it's the left side, and that will damage the underflooring of the car as well. So there's an aero imbalance that Adam Merchant is having to deal with. So here's a replay from the helicam. There you see it, bang, right front into the left side pod.
Ooh, there was that second snap, wasn't there?
There was. So I think it might have been a double hit there. So Adam trying to, yeah, I think he probably got front wing damage on the left side.
Yep.
Because it was not only the right front, it was the right rear that from JT, who's now rejoined in 21st position after spending just under 7 seconds in the pit lane. Brian has come back out on track, and he's currently running down in last position. He's but the thing is, even though we see brief off tracks on our timing, when we see a lengthy bit of red in that column, we know that someone's had a bit of a whoopsie.
An oopsie daisy.
Oopsie daisy. Yeah, well, it's the oh dear in words to that effect, but some that we can't broadcast here on the JP Broadcasting Network. We can say it off air, but not on air.
No.
But nevertheless, Joshua Benjamin in the 78 for Total Racing, trying to close in on Nick Dvornik at the moment, and I think, well, the team that the team that is noticeably absent today is Mr. C and his colleague at what was it, Rush Hour Racing, the Hello Kitty Brigade, as it's more commonly known. They're not here tonight, but we still have a pretty good grid. I mean, we've been averaging over 20 plus cars over the first 3 rounds, and it just goes that SR4S, thanks to the hard work behind the scenes of Brian Long, has been going from strength to strength, hasn't it?
Absolutely. Brian is if I could explain Brian in one term, it would be a Shire horse. The amount of work he carries in with this. He's got a good team in and around him this season as well. Anthony doing some great graphics. He's picking up highlight videos and stuff like that. You can head over to the Sim Racing for Simpletons YouTube channel. You'll see the highlights on there. He's helping out as much as possible as well. But Brian is, I tell you what, he deserves every bit of credit for this success of this league. He has worked tirelessly at this, and he's got it to where we're at, now over 22 plus drivers. You may sit at home thinking 22 is not a lot, but let's think about it. Real life F1 only has 20, so we're getting more than them at the moment, and that's supposed to be a popular series. So, weigh out the pros and cons.
Yeah, exactly. But it's one of those things. But when you consider, let's say on average, these cars have 500 horsepower-ish from the 2-litre turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. 22 cars, that's 11,000 horsepower. Plus you add the push-to-pass, which all drivers have the use of for 200 seconds in this race. And once you've used it all, that's it. You can be a sitting duck. And we saw at Monza last time out 7 days ago, James, that a lot of drivers were using up the push to pass quite a lot. I think, who was it we saw that was using it? Tim Perry. He was using it all the way through most of the lap, like from the 2 Lesmos through into Ascari, then into Alboreto, and then down the start-finish straight, and still kept a hold of it through into the Rettifilio. So that's a circuit where you can really use it as much as you can, but here it's about point and squirt when you need to, and if you need to attack or defend. And that's the beautiful thing about push to pass, folks, is it's a great attacking or defensive countermeasure.
Yeah, absolutely. But we've also, on the flip side to that as well, we had JT using it on the final lap, closing in on Adam like an absolute banshee. Took 4.5 seconds down to 2.5 on one. Oh, yeah. No, he did. I thought they did. There we go.
Whoopsie daisy.
Yeah, you've had what Alex has just described as an oopsie. I thought you'd had it here, to be honest with you. You came in like a little bit of a banshee there, sir. I thought it was there. Then all of a sudden, bang, internet plays a part. No nose, no rear wing, and unfortunately for Brzezowski, well, looks like a Robin Reliant, just with the wheels in the wrong place.
Yeah, with no rear wing, and yeah.
Plenty.
Yes. Taco Plane 91 says, F in chat. Absolute murder.
Oh, you missed a trick there, Mr. Goldschmidt. You're supposed to do it with the finest tag-up voice. There's been a murder. Come on, son.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I'm here to investigate a murder.
Yep. I think we have literally just seen it from Chris Sears on Frankie Brzezowski, Matthew Short having to go with Matt Voorhees there. And he's, ooh. Max ran that very wide there, but yeah, let's see what Short can do, whether or not this is going to close up. But that was definitely a Cluedo moment. Who did it? He did. So there we go. But Short having a go.
It was the vicar in the living room with the candlestick.
Yes. See, us old people remember these. If anybody remembers this in YouTube chat, let us know, because we do find at mine and Alex's gentle age of 21 times a few that not many people know about Cluedo.
21 times 2 plus a few more added just for good measure.
Stop it, Alex. You're making me feel old. Behave yourself.
Mate, I'm older than you. And that's the more worrying thing as well.
Oh, I'm so pleased about that. I don't feel like old people. But JT Smeaton is on a bit of a comeback at the moment, mate. He's made his way up through 7. Yep. Nearly wasn't.
Yeah, nearly wasn't. Now he's on the push to pass. He's still got about 180 seconds left as they come out of submitted as boxes through turn 14. And now, well, the speeds we're seeing is around about 180 miles an hour. And JT's still on the push to pass. And releases it just past the start-finish line. Bit of a lock-up in front. That was Short, and that... What was it? No.
Somebody's in the wall. Jake Katz. No, Jake's not in the wall. Christian Jasper is in the wall.
Oh, dear.
Oh, he's in the wall quite heavily there.
And that's the front end that's had a complete nose job, let's say. He's come into the centre S's and hit the curbing and lost it. Oh... Yeah. Bang
on that one, unfortunately for Christian. Straight back to pit lane. JT still making his way through the field. He's wiggling up through the wigglies at this moment in time. He's trying to get and catch up with Matthew Short. Goose, J-Cats is my girlfriend.
Goose overdose.
Goose overdose. Okay.
Yeah, interesting YouTube name. We do get quite a few interesting ones that come in and spectate, but thank you very much for joining us. Yeah, JT Smeaton's on a bit of a tear at the moment. We're now on to lap number 12 out of 32, so we're past a third distance. But yeah, I think now that JT's got that car back fully repaired, I think Adam's going to have to be a little bit worried, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah, I think so too. Oh, Matt Short, Max Voorhees side by side. Who's gonna... Oh, yeah, dude, you closed the door on him.
Oh, dearie me. And
literally.
And Max Voorhees has no rear wing, no cover for the... no engine cover. Now that went exit stage left. So it's into the centre S's. They're going to be wheel-to-wheel through the right-hander. And then... Oh... Oh, no.
Did he not... Am I missing it? Did he not shut the door on him there or just turn straight across him? So well, Max is on the right, yeah?
Well, Max is on the right, and I think it was... It's a difficult one because you could say, oh, yeah, well... Matthew was going for the line, but the gap was closed by Max already. So, and then here we go, Knight Rider turbo boost engaged, and bang.
Yeah. Not sure how they're going to decipher that one, because I've seen many leagues decipher that in the wrong way or in the correct way, based off what they've said in the league. So I think at the moment, by my eyes, that was front wheel to rear wheel, which I class as alongside. Now, that might not be the most popular conversation or decision, to be blatantly honest, but then again, you know, I've generally got myself in trouble plenty of times before. But yeah, that's always a difficult one for me coming out of the centre S's. It's not the first time that that's popped up, and I'm sure it won't be the last on this one either. So, yeah.
We'll leave it to race control to decide that post event and penalise us accordingly, because obviously at the end of the day, yes, we're up in the booth, we can watch all the respective angles, but we give a little bit of our own opinion on that, rather than sort of like saying, oh, well, I'd penalise that person and give them a 10-second penalty. No, we're not here to do that. We're here to call it how we see it, in all honesty. And yeah, it might not be to be completely... yeah, we could be unpopular because of it. But if we don't give an opinion, then people say, oh, well, why don't you give an opinion? They'll go like, oh, you're weak. And they'll be like, no, like, this is how I see it. And so myself and James would have completely different opinions, but we'd agree to disagree in some cases, wouldn't we?
We definitely would. And I think the thing is as well, that you've got to look at what we see. We see it for a brief second. We can replay a couple of times, but we're not going to sit there and go through it constantly. As Jake's just gone past Josh Benjamin there. So great job from them. But I think Andy Flint, gap car. Yeah, that's the general running rule, isn't it? If gap car. No, he was ahead at the apex. Taco, I don't know. He was alongside. It was front wheel to rear wheel. So this is where are you alongside? Are you not? Did Max have the right time to dive for the apex or not? Did he dive for the apex? That's the question. Did he not realise? That's the question. Well, all these questions will be sorted out by RC. This is not for me and Alex to call. I will tell you at one point, no, Braden Carroll has closed into the back of Adam Merchant. So is Adam going to be a bit of a sitting duck?
And he was on the push to pass as well, so started using it as he exited out of Curve de Sol, so at least it was the right place to do it. And as an official professional amateur sim racing steward appointed by no one, the car behind is guilty of Le Bonk. The punishment is 2 hours of Forza 5. Oh, well, okay. You might send somebody mad doing that.
Good old Andy Flynn.
That's brilliant. That's the best comment I've seen on YouTube for a very, very long time.
Deary me.
You know what? We're going to have to put this on the JPB socials, aren't we, for real? Le Bonk.
Le Bonk. Oh, dear. Taco, damn, that was harsh. Come on. What bit first? Because otherwise I got myself in trouble for no reason. I would like to say Chris has apologised to Frankie Brzezowski. I cannot read the message out because I don't have a beat button in time. But let's just say he apologised profoundly, should we, constantly, over a 3-sentence conversation.
Yeah, well, all I'm going to basically say, I'll do the politically correct version, shall I? Well, Frankie, I mucked up your race. I'm really blooming sorry. I thought I had time to send it on the inside, and then beep.
Yeah, that's basically it.
That's in a nutshell, without dropping any expletives.
That is, even though we are after 9 o'clock in the UK, of course, here as well.
But we're not going to do that to the viewers out there, because they'll probably know what we're talking about anyway.
Yeah, it begins with F, let's just put it that way. But
yes.
Merchant's under attack. Carson Keane has got Zitch for company. Joshua Benjamin has got Jake Katz in front of him. And then Eamon Haig has got Brian Long. So there's a couple of pockets of battles that is taking shape. But I will like to say that Braden Carroll has just cleared Adam Merchant. Oh, we did say Adam's a bit of a sitting duck at the moment. Yep, out of Pico, and then down through Mugello, and he's going to get the inside. He ran the outside, actually, he did him. So fair play. Yep, fair play to Braden Carroll.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? At the end of the day, it's a case of, I think Adam's just doing a bit of damage limitation. You know, unlike JT, who went in, repaired the car, came out. JT's now up into 11th, and he is taking lumps out of Joel Peguero. He's just taken nearly a second out of him. So it's damage limitation for the pair of them. So JT's meeting, if he can, I won't be at all surprised. I'm looking at Adam's lap times, 1:18.3. JT running on a 16.8. All I can say is, anyone got the Jaws music burning in their ears? Because I definitely have.
Yep. JT's closing in 2 seconds a lap. Andy there, don't argue or we will make it 2 hours of Need for Speed. And I mean any of them post Underground 2. Most Wanted was quality. Andy, don't diss Most Wanted.
Taco Play 91 goes, we aren't trying to kill a man.
Straightforward as that. On that one. Carson Keane still pulling Anthony Zitch in. Braden Carroll now trying to escape up the road from Adam Merchant as much as possible. Obviously Matthew Shaw and Max Voorhees Max is still going. Matt is out with a message that said, well, that was fun while it lasted. So there we go. But Carson Keane closing in on Anthony Zitch, running down the Red Aposta. He's going to look for the inside line, going into the Cedar del Lago. He's got to be later on the brakes. Nope, the doctor did not quite do it this time around.
Yeah, and that was actually after Anthony passed him for 7th place. So Anthony now starting to sprint up into the road, up the road, and here's our wonderful friend Mr. Blake Toe in the wonderful M Motorsport livery. Oh, just drops it. Yeah, just a bit too overzealous on the curb, and you have that little dip where you've got the gravel and the rear tyres hit it. He's buried the throttle and wallop, it's gone around. I mean, yes, it's not been... I think every time we've seen Blake on screen, when a replay pops up, it's normally when he's spun it around. But give him his due. He's managed to finish all the races so far. So that's one of the things we like about this league here at Sim Racing for Simpletons, is that people don't give up. Carson Keane, however, closing on Anthony Zitch as they're going to go into the centre S's. Carson sweeps to the outside. Anthony keeps the tight line. And now it's going to be the run out of the centre S's into Cover de Sol. And now will we see Carson on the push to pass heading into the Cedar del Lago? At the minute I can't see any activation.
No.
So no, just using the good old slipstream. Now we were talking about this at Monza last week, weren't we? It's the same kind of characteristic we're seeing here at Interlagos as well, that they're not using the push to pass as maybe a lot of people would have thought so. But there is one person that's already exhausted it. Congratulations, Brian Long.
Yeah, first man out of 0. So I'm shocked that he is already out of PTB. We're only on lap 19. We've still got 12 to go. I will be interested to see how close JT can get. He's now got Joel Peguero in front of him at the moment, and currently he's still doing 1:16.9s in conjunction with Adam Merchant, who was on a 1:17.7. So he was just under a second faster, but you're just never quite sure whether or not that's a second due to traffic or what. So we'll give JT time to get past Peguero, and then we'll see how he gets on after that and whether or not he's going to be able to move forward. I think this is the interesting thing. Yeah, go on, JT, draft him through. Yep, job done. JT has cleared him, so, and sweeps across his nose very aggressively there as well. JT doesn't need to see a plastic surgeon just yet, as Carson Keane has gone up the inside of Anthony Zitch.
So, a reshuffle in the order for 7th and 8th position, respectively. So, the number 5 gets through on the number 15. As we are now, excuse me, we're now on lap 20 out of 32. So, this and 12 more remaining. But Elliot Court at the moment leading the hometown hero, Gabriel Hopp. Of course, Gabriel has been pretty much matching pace to Elliot, but the gap is about 3.2 seconds, give or take. And, well, we've got multiple battles now because Braden Carroll is being closed in on by Adam Merchant, and they've been running about the same. Loving the livery here on Anthony Zitch. He's got a bit sort of like Yanimoy's Chrome styly, hasn't he?
Very much so. It's like that McLaren Chrome that they had at one point there as well, and I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. You can see the draft being pulled in there. I don't want to pick up Freddie running out. Oh, you're not going to make that. Are you going to make that? You're going to demand room on the inside. Oh, he did as well, and then demanded room on the exit, and poor old Carson had nowhere to go apart from sitting behind him down the Red Aposta we go. Carson's no PTB. He's flashing. It's in recharge mode, and now through he goes there as little bit of a bump there. Freddie Sussex in YouTube chat. Elliot is first. Go on, the boy, he says. So there we go. We missed that a little bit earlier on, but great action taking place here as well. Andy being in stewarding, he said.
Hence why Forza 5 was mentioned.
Yes, I did ignore the first part. Enjoying my time here trolling. I mean stewarding. Bless him.
Make up your mind, damn it, man. Which is it?
I know. You're either here and stewarding or you're here trolling. Behave yourself, Mr. Andy Flynn. Carson Keane still going with Zilch, and then Merchant is now closing in on Braden Carroll. And then Tim Perry has got Jeff Groff in his sights. Tim going for the last podium position over Jeff. I think the thing is for Blake Court at the moment, he's got that 2.8 second gap, but I don't know if he would have had that unless Merchant and Smeaton had come together. At the moment that the turning point was they kind of come together, and then everybody sort of had to check and slow and, make sure they got through, unlike a 32-car pile-up I saw earlier on with Watkins Glen and a GT3 series up through the S's, should we say, on lap 1. But they, everybody checked out, and then Blake kind of wiggled his way and went on his bike, and he's 2.9 up the road. And now we've got Gabriel there getting past a couple of back markers. There goes, I believe that was Eamon Haig. And then next is Max Voorhees, who is on down the road in front. So I don't think we're done just yet with 10 laps to go. I think there's going to be more twists and turns here. I am trying to keep an eye on JT and how he's going to go. Last lap, fastest lap of the race on a 16.6. Adam Merchant on a 17.09. So not as big a gain as we've seen from JT, but he is starting to close out. The gap was out at 14 seconds at one point. It's now down to 11.6. So is he going to have enough time over the next 10 laps?
And is he going to have enough push to pass to operate as well? Because the more he uses it, that might help a little bit in trying to close that gap. And he's got a bit of clear air now as well, which means he's 6.1 seconds behind Frankie Alvello in the number 28 car. And let's see what the lap time is from JT Smeaton. Another new fastest lap, and puts in a 1:16.609. I mean, if this race was probably 40 laps, yeah, you might have a chance, as Zitch and Keane side by side again. Round the outside goes Anthony, and this time unable to get through at Desida de Largo. But now the run up to Ferradura, Laragina, Pinarino, Esse, and of course Pico de Pato before they go into Margulo and then Juncao. But this is a section of the track I really, really like, that you're having to be quite precise with your throttle, steering, and braking inputs, and especially with these cars, of course, rear-wheel drive, you're having to watch how you modulate that throttle, rather than sort of like going a bit happy on the loud pedal and then going, oh, I'll give it the berries, then you over-rotate.
Yeah.
And now, new fastest lap by Gabriel Hopp, 1:16.551. Gap between first and second is about 3.1, but I'm seeing here that Gabriel's got more push to pass than Elliott at the moment, so there could be a bit more usage from the Brazilian, couldn't there?
Absolutely. I just wanted to see what their speed was going to be here, how close they were going to get to 180. I think they might get 77, 80 they have. It'd be 190 the push going up from Juncao up through Subida the boxes as well. A little bit of a trivia question. What is the hidden corner name at turn 15? Let's see if anybody watched the broadcast earlier on. There is a corner name at turn 15. Doesn't appear on the maps, and it doesn't get mentioned very often at all. So what is the hidden corner name out at turn 15, just on the left-hander by the pit lane entry? Do you know, Mr. Goldschmidt?
No, I'd have to look that up.
Oh.
And you know what? On that note, I am going to look it up.
Yep. Go and have a Google, and you'll see there as well. You'll see why and what it translates to. But there is a corner name out through turn, well, between, it's really 14, 15, and it's one corner name that they've given it.
Now I remember. It's jogged my memory now, yes.
Yep, and it's a not very, as I say, it doesn't really get mentioned. However, Tim Perry will get a mention if he clears Jeff Groff here, because he has just closed up a bunch of time over Jeff and is now making his way, coming into the right-hander, and is doing a great job and we're trying to get up and close and overtake him at the moment, but a great job from Tim Perry. See that marble line around the outside? Horrendous, trying to go through there too wide.
Oh, well, what's happened to Blake Toe? Oh, he's ended up in the pit lane now, and I think he's retired from the race. This is coming into Reto Posten, Desida del Lago.
Ooh.
And, oh dear. Bang.
That's not good. Blake Tow has had to tow back to the pits. Sorry. Bad one.
Don't forget to tip your waitress. He'll be here all week.
Yeah. Any DMs of disgust goes at Alex Goldschmidt. That's fine. Nothing to do with me. That's some fair.
Yeah,
Great
please.
job, JPB. Enjoyed the broadcast. Much appreciated. Sabido to boxes. No.
No,
Next
that's
one.
turn 13.
Next one.
13, yeah. Turn 13 and 14 in stability boxes.
Yeah.
Turn 15.
Hold on, because let me see if he remembers, because he was mentioned on the broadcast earlier, because Tom didn't know it was there either. It's a box. Says Taco. No, definitely not a box.
Box. No.
Yep. So there we go. Give you another couple of laps just before we'll reveal it at the end of the race and see if anybody can actually figure it out. But Tim Perry's got to figure out what he's got to do with Groff here. Through the right hander, Bigo de Pado, down through Magello, coming into Juncao. Alex, it's got to be a run out of Juncao and see if he can close in. Is he going to be
there
on
we
the
go.
P2P?
We've got it. Mr. Flynn has provided the answer.
Yep.
Which means bleachers. And that's the Americanized version of grandstand, folks.
Yep, and why would you classify oh, go on, Tim. He's going to try and go around the outside, is he? He's got to be harder on the brakes, and he's got to be deeper into the right-hander. Through he goes. He going to take the nose? Nope. I got a funny feeling there might still be a car there. There was a car there. And now Jeff Groff has just got overtaken by a very fast flying altitude boy of Tim Perry. So great job from Tim. Why is it called the bleachers, Alex? Where are the bleachers normally? Or where would you find the bleachers?
Well, you normally see them on coming out of turn 15 and all the way down to the center S's at turn 1.
Where on,
like
on a
you
pitch?
Can't see. Yeah.
Where on a pitch would you see them?
Oh God, bleachers. I'm trying to think at this time in the morning, and
I know. I'm wide awake, and you're not really very much. Let's
no.
Put you out your misery.
Put me out of misery.
So the bleachers generally you would find quite high up, right? They normally come along with the saying of the nosebleed seats and up there out the way and stuff like that. The bleachers here, the reason they've got it at the bleachers is because from 13, 14 and 15, you can actually see down because of the undulation down into Pinorino. If you're sat in them seats, you can actually see down and see what's going on because of that drop and undulation at Interlagos. So a very pointless bit of trivia that I have in my head, and I don't know where I got it from. Probably read it somewhere and thought, oh, that'd be good. I might remember that at some points. But because you're down here, you can actually see from the left-hand side. So if I give you a rough idea, who is down in 17th? Mac Voorhees. Let's see if I can spin a camera. There's the bleachers there. See them all running across the top?
Yep.
There you go. So thank you very much. You've learnt something new today.
There we go.
Yeah, I told you. Useless bit of information, mate. I don't know where I get it from, but there we go.
Oh, mate. I mean, like, literally, it was. Yeah, I mean, you talk about having, what was it, 30 plus cars going off on a GT3 league. One race I was commentating on at karting in Marienborg in Belgium, so I'm back home in the United Kingdom. So I'm looking forward to being back in my own bed for a change. We had about half the field of one race go off at a corner because someone's cart decided to drop fluid on the circuit. Like, literally, it was like skating on an ice rink. Like, one went off, then I've gone like, oh, okay, that's one. And then 7 other carts followed suit rather rapidly. And then another 3 went off, and I was like, oh dear. And I went, there's got to be fluid. And I knew straight away they were on slick tyres, dry track. You had a bit of fluid. Whoops.
Yep, absolutely. I think that's the problem, isn't it? When you don't see it, or it doesn't get called, or there's no anything there in there at the moment, you know, nobody mentions it. You do get stuck, and unfortunately you do end up going around. Zitch has lost that place to Frankie Arvello, but there could be is there a reason why Zitch lost that for Frankie, or did he just get it all a little bit wrong? Oh, it could be.
He must have got
slow down. Yeah, I agree on that one.
Yeah.
Eamon Haig entered into pit lane. He's been off track and unfortunately had a incident. There he goes, and behind the tree, unfortunately, but he is there on the racetrack. The interesting thing is, well, this middle pack is now coming in together again. JT is slowly making his way up through Zich, Avello, Key. He's got Keen. Once he clears this two, if he can, he's only got 2 laps. I don't think he's going to get to Adam Merchant, but I've got to be honest, for JT, for the recovery of the day, he has done an absolute stellar job from flat dead last right into 10th place at the moment. So fair play, JT.
I've got a feeling he might be able to snatch 8th if you got the 2 in front battling away with Arvello versus Zich, and Zich looking up the inside. He's got him. He's got him, but Frankie's going to try and fire it back through the next right. And, well, that was nicely timed. A little bit of a switchback by Anthony Zich. But now the Jaws music is burning in my ears again. Into Interlagos. Arvello to the inside. Zich on the outside. And, oh, no!
Oh! Wow.
Oh, it was going so well for JT Smeaton. But you can see that when Zich went to the outside, he's going to hit the curbing, spin it, bang.
Oh.
And JT had nowhere to go.
The recovery is over, unfortunately for JT. And that all stemmed just from Anthony Zich on the curb. No other reason. You see him on the outside there, hits that curb, comes across, bang. And JT ends up in the wall. Both of them, wheels are flapping. And unfortunately, neither man is going to get to the end of the race. That, well, I suppose it puts everybody up in position. Joe Baguero, Dwarnick, Jake Katz, Josh Benjamin and Brian Long. Now, these 4 can fight out as we're going to go, where are we? Where's the leader? Up through, currently going into SA. So he's got another lap to go before we go on to the final lap. Great drive beforehand. He did an amazing job getting back to 10th. So fair play to JT. Just unlucky on that one after the incident.
Yeah, Mr. Flynn did say Spinola reference Eamon Hake, and I thought, no, he's trying to do his best John Cena, you can't see me impersonation. Hiding behind a tree.
Yep.
But yeah, it's been a pretty solid performance from Elliot Court, who took complete advantage of the contact between the now out of the race JT Smeaton and then of course Adam Merchant. Still a very, very solid job. White flag is out here at Interlagos for round 3 of the Winter Series, and it's been rather enthralling. And oh well, Joshua Benjamin has got Brian Long looking up the inside into Ferradura and now into La Regina. And Brian, is he going to get through? They've got a left-hander coming up at Pinarino. And Brian round the outside, but loses. I think ran a little bit wide, but he's gone back up the inside again. Meantime, Elliot Court is currently 55% of the way through the lap. And he's actually making his way into Bicatapato for what will be the 32nd and final time. And then he'll be powering out of Sabida's boxes and into Bancadas, I think it's called, or however you want to say it. I can't remember. Arquibancadas.
Yeah,
and there he is. Elliot Court in the number 23 is going to make his way out of the final corner and will become the second different winner. The streak has ended as we've got a new man on the top step of the podium. And well done to Elliot Court. Takes the win. Gabriel Hopp, well, he's going to be happy about the fact that he's got second place, but not quite the W. Finishes just under 4 seconds adrift. We've still got Josh Benjamin and Brian Long battling away right up until the checkered. And Joshua just keeps it ahead going into Ferradura, now into the tight right-hander here at La Regina. But, and once again, for the second race in a row, Tim Perry, Mr. Max Altitude, has made it onto the podium once again. Brian's trying to be a little bit cheeky.
He's on the marbles.
Oh,
he's not going to get
Joshua.
it.
Yeah. And Brian says, thank you very much. I'm out of here. See you later. Bye-bye.
Yeah, Dwarnick's got Jake tucked in right behind him. So what is Jake going to be able to do here? He's got no PTP. Nick has got nothing. Jake has got everything. Is Jake the man going to be able to catch him there? Is he going to go over the line? Oh, no, not this time. Benjamin and Long. I think it was Long in front. It was, and Benjamin there as well. Oh, I thought Jake was going to get him. Saving PTP right to the end there. The marbles out there are treacherous. Yes, talking about Pinarino, of course. Which is what we saw earlier, Andy, as well, with a few people going off the racetrack in the Little Brothers. But, yeah, it's been an exciting one. Kind of flew by really quick.
Yeah, and here are the results. Well, Elliot Court is our new race winner. Takes round 3 by just under 4 seconds ahead of Gabriel Hopp, with Tim Perry hitting the podium once again for the second time in a row, and it's Court and Hopp for the first time on the podium themselves in the winter season here at round 3. Jeff Groff, one step away from the that elusive podium for the number 25 car. Braden Carroll rounds out the top 5. Good damage control by Adam Merchant, making sure that he finished in the top 10. Well, it was the top part of the second half of the top 10, finishing 6th ahead of Carson Keane, Frankie Arvello, Joel Paguero, and Nick Dvornik round out the top 10. Jake Katz in 11th ahead of Brian Long, after Joshua Benjamin went on the marbles, unfortunately, whilst battling away on the last lap. Anthony Zitch and Eamon Hake round out the top 15. Max Voorhees in 16th. And, of course, we saw the big drama with JT Smeaton, with Smeaton finishing in 17th place. Blake Toe in 18th. Frankie Brzezowski, Matthew Short, Christian Jasper, and Chris Sears. And quite a few retirees here at Interlagos. But more to the point, we've got our post-race interviews here. So, first of all, let's see if we can bring in our runner-up into the booth. Let's bring in Gabriel Hopp. As we have to say, he's had a fantastic livery. Let me just, So, Gabriel, welcome back to the interview booth here, and welcome back to the podium.
It's been some time.
Firstly, what was the? We're loving the wonderful, colourful livery. Of course, this being your home track, you had to bring something special to the party, didn't you?
Yeah. It was the same livery that I used last season, and last season I couldn't get to the podium to go to the interview and thank Anthony. He did this for me as a present, so very grateful, and I appreciate it a lot. It's a very good looking livery.
Oh yes, definitely. It's definitely the standout. That's what I'd like to call it. But P2 in that race, despite all the dramas with Adam and JT coming together, heading into Descida de Lago down the Reto Posta, gave you a little bit of something to smile about, getting yourself on the podium, and it gives you a good haul of points as well, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, the podium was a little facilitated by that accident, but yeah, I was trying to get to Elliot, but no, he was very fast and very consistent, no mistakes. But I'm happy with the podium.
Glad to hear that. Now we've got Jerez next week. Looking forward to that one, because that's going to be another challenge as well.
Yeah, I never drove that track. This season I'm more for the individual results, try to get a podium, maybe a win. So I'm gonna practice a lot, but never drove in that track. So yeah.
Brilliant. Well done on second place tonight, Gabriel. Anyone you'd like to thank before we let you go?
Well, I want to thank again Anthony for the very good looking livery. I didn't have the chance last season, so doing it right now.
Brilliant. Gabriel, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you for the halfway point next week at Jerez. Well done tonight.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Okay, next up, let's bring in a man who's hit the podium twice. It's a third place in a row. Number 83, Tim Perry. Welcome back to the rostrum. Are you surprised that you ended up there, mate? Because we saw some good moves from you, especially on Jeff Groff.
Yeah, obviously at Mugello as well. He was ahead of me, and his tyres kind of went off more than mine, and I managed to overtake him there. So when I was behind him, I kind of thought the same sort of thing. Really, just sat in for a bit, tried to look after the tires, and then he started coming back towards me, and my lap times held on. So it wasn't. So it was kind of my plan all along, but you're never quite sure how it's going to work out.
Yeah, but still, it's nice to come back to this circuit here at Interlagos, isn't it?
Oh, it's like I said last week, it's my favourite track. Like, absolutely love it. Just the way it flows is just brilliant. The way you can take the curbs, and in this car, it's an absolute animal. Like, you're just on the edge the whole time. It feels like the slightest mistake and you're in the wall, and it's quite unforgiving here. So yeah, you can get some good side-to-side racing as well. You get the nice long straight. It's just got everything.
Brilliant. Thoughts ahead of Jerez next week for round 4 when we hit the halfway point, and bearing in mind your third place might in the standings might be second by the end of this, because obviously JT had dramas with Adam early doors, and then unfortunately was out of the race after his comeback drive got scuppered, so to speak. So yeah, you're now going to have to start chasing down Adam Merchant, aren't you? A bit more.
Well, yeah, easier said than done. But
Yes, true.
yeah, obviously I saw them have the damage early on, and they were very feisty at Monza as well. So again, it didn't surprise me that they came together, because if you race like that all the time, it's going to happen. And these cars are just super fragile. And I'm in my 40s now. There's no way I can keep up with those young, quick guys. So I've just got to be nice and consistent, like score consistently, and do a bit of a Fernando Alonso on them, and just hopefully they kind of take themselves out, and I can sneak in with nice consistent performances.
That's exactly what I said. I said I'm surprised they haven't come together earlier with the way they fight each other and the way they battle. So fair play to you, Tim. You've done a stellar job.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah.
Right. Well, before we let you go, Tim, anyone you'd like to thank here tonight?
Yeah, so teammate Max, who again was super unlucky. So, but his pace is getting there now. So I think we're on for a good team finish at some point. Obviously, thanks to Altitude Esports, SimStickers, Freem, and Mr. Hedge.
Brilliant, Tim. We'll see you next week for the halfway point at Jerez for round 4. Well done tonight, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for your great broadcast as well.
Take care, mate.
Big thank you to Tim Perry, and I think we have got our winner standing by. I'm hoping that we have got Elliot Court coming in very, very short.
Yeah.
Elliot,
Hi.
are you with us?
I am indeed, yeah.
Oh, there
Well,
we go.
Congratulations, our new race winner for round 3 here at Interlagos. Congratulations, first of all.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's weird actually coming straight into a league and winning the first race, but there we go, went and did it. So I'm more than happy.
So, from your viewpoint, when you saw Adam Merchant and JT Smeaton come together in towards the Cida del Lago, were you sort of like, well, were you mentally rubbing your hands with glee, like saying, "Oh, here's my opportunity to get the lead and not let go of it"?
Yeah, I saw JT getting close to Adam, and I thought, all right, well, he's going to challenge him here, and I'll be a lot closer coming out the corner, maybe hold on like within half a second the rest of the lap. Then I just see them make contacts, and I'm like, all right. Then they both go off, and I'm like, oh, cool, I've actually got the race lead. It was a bit of a shock seeing them both go off, but I'll take it.
And then you just went on, just calmly, consistently put in the lap times, kept a good gap to Gabriel, ending up winning by just under 4 seconds. Yeah, like you say, coming into a new league. When you first started using this car, ready to get ready for today's race, what were your first impressions of it?
I mean, I've raced this car before, and
Yep.
to be honest, I really like it. Like, it's just, I don't know, it suits my driving style quite a bit. But I found in qualifying the rear end was quite slidey, so my qualifying wasn't great. So I knew I'd have the pace to keep up in the race at the front too, but then in the end I didn't need to, and I just had to sort of keep a gap to Gabriel behind, and I did that. Just had to focus on not making mistakes, and yeah, got there in the end, got the win.
Brilliant. So I take it we're going to see you for the rest of the season, are we then?
Yeah, you are. Hopefully, yeah. You should be.
Another crazy Englishman who likes being awake at 2 a.m.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, go get
Well,
sleep.
you know what they say, Elliot, in for a penny, in for a pound, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, congratulations on the win, Elliot. Anyone you'd like to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, just I think my mate Salvador's watching right now. He's tuning in, so like to shout him out. Like to shout out everyone, you guys in the broadcast booth, everyone setting this league up. You know, it's actually really good, really well done. Great first impression. So yeah.
Well, Elliot, thanks for joining us. Well done on the victory, and we'll see you for round 4 next week. Well done today.
Yeah, cheers. Thank you very much.
Right, big thank you to Elliot Court there. You know what? Shall we? I see Brian's waiting in that. Mr. Long, how are you, sir? It's been a while.
Good, gentlemen. I figured I'd hop in and say hi and thank you real quick because I don't think I'm going to get to do it anymore on merit. So,
Brian.
Well, well,
good thing. That's a good thing.
well, let's be completely honest. I mean, folks, this is the man that is behind all this madness. So we have to thank him for getting us here at JP Broadcasting on board. You know, we've been part of SR4S for quite a while now. But Brian, the first 3 rounds, it's been rather intriguing here in the winter season, hasn't it?
It has. Everything's all the drivers are putting in the practice, and everyone understands the racing etiquette that exists. So it's made for great racing, and a lot of the guys that have been here have been racing for a long time together, and that helps with trust and to just kind of learn how we all behave on the racetrack, and it makes for better racing in the end. So not only that, but just the last year or so, we've just had so many more people come in, and it's been nothing but good additions.
Well, let's talk about your race a little bit. Nice little battle towards the end with Josh Benjamin, who ended up going on the marbles, unfortunately, allowing you to take that 12th place. But, you know, it's quite nice seeing a little bit of side-by-side action. But you also had your fair share of dramas. I think it was James, wasn't it? Frankie Arvello losing his front wing by contact or something like
Yeah,
that?
they're just about to do that live on screen, so Brian can have a look and see how he ended up getting himself caught up in his own dramas. Massive lock-up and over poor old Max. And
That was all me.
Yeah, and then Arvello comes through and beep, gives it a little boop, and around you go even more, Brian. So there we go.
That was not on Frankie at all. I just misjudged it. I knew I was on the inside. The track is so hot today, and I locked up. That was purely a skill issue, and all I could see was my teammate in front of me, and I was just trying not to destroy his rear wing. So I'm glad that I was able to just kind of get off track, get back, get the quick repair, and kind of come back. It actually saved me because it was so hot. I had better tires than everybody in front of me because I had no dirty air to deal with, and I wasn't burning my tires up even worse than they were. So it was kind of fun to try to charge back. I wish I had 3 more laps. There were 2 more positions in front of me. I wanted them so bad.
Do you reckon you would have got them both?
Oh, I think for sure. Yeah.
Ooh.
I could see how much they were slipping, locking up. They didn't have the tires to do it. And I had closed that gap down from about 15 seconds over the course of those 20 or so laps. So I knew I had the pace. I just needed a few more laps. But it was my fault for being in that position to begin with.
Yeah, well, we all know that's part and parcel of racing, Brian. But to have in excess of 20 cars for the first 3 rounds of the 2025 winter season, myself and James, we were talking about this earlier that SR4S has grown from strength to strength, but it's mainly been the amount of hard work and passion and dedication that you have to keep this going. And you must have felt really happy when we had, 25, I think 26 cars for round 1 at Mugello, and we've got really, really good racing all up and down the order as a direct correlation.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll try to keep this short because I wasn't in here to tack onto the time. But last season, before we even started last season, last September, we weren't even sure we were going to keep racing. I had 13 people signed up. We only had about a week to go. And I was getting burned out. We had been pushing really hard and working really hard and just weren't getting the signups. So I basically called out everybody in the Discord, like, if you want to race, this is the last chance, or we're not doing it anymore. And everyone kind of showed up, and it just gave us that push and that momentum. And last season turned out to be great. So when we got to this season, rather than having to get to the end of, right before the season started, we had the roster was full in 3 days. I was already on a waiting list by day 4, and we start recruiting a month out. So that was a first for us. So when we got to the first race and we had a full roster, it was, it was high fives all around. And we're really happy with where we're at. We're going to probably just keep it this way for a while and just try to add more interested drivers, people who want to be here and who are going to keep racing. And that's just the goal. So it's just been really exciting to see it grow. There's a lot of GT leagues, I think, that kind of have what we have, which is that it's just a good community. People are here to race hard, and open wheel don't have a whole lot of them. And so the fact that we can do it in these really quick cars and people show up is just awesome. And we don't have half the time zones because we don't have Europe and Australia to help. So it's been really fun to just kind of build it and see what it's become. It's a blast for me to race in the field and try and chase these guys down.
Hold on, I'd like to just jump in a minute. You don't have Europe, but yet you had an English winner.
So I look, if the product's good enough, I guess people will show up, right? If they can get the racing they're looking for, they'll stay up late. You guys stay up to broadcast. I mean, you get paid, but that's not. You didn't have to do it.
That's by the by. You
didn't have to do it.
Yeah. We're all passionate. We're all Mad Hatters anyway, Brian. But thanks for jumping in, buddy. And we'll see you along with the motley crew of SR4S next week for the halfway point of the winter season at Jerez. You looking forward to that one?
I've actually never driven on Jerez. It's a new track in iRacing, so I'm looking forward to learning it. Everyone has great things to say about it, so I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun.
Brilliant. Brian, thanks for jumping in, buddy, and we'll see you next week for round 4.
Sounds good. Probably talk to you guys next season. Take care.
Take care, mate.
Well, JP, final thoughts before we wrap up today for Sim Racing for Simpletons round 3 winter season live for Interlagos.
Well, I think, as always, it delivers, doesn't it? Every single time. And we wasn't short of battles. There was battles all the way through. And I think overall, everybody enjoyed it. I'm just looking at the Discord. Everybody's chilled about what's gone on and some of the dramas that have happened. We're going to, of course, see Andy Flint next time out. He's going to be at Jerez. He's already confirmed that he'll go and buy the car and come and join us, I'm sure. Links down below, Andy. Reach out to Brian Long, just in case you're only involved. That goes for anybody in the Discord who wants to come along and have a drive, of course. You can get yourself involved. We are just reaching a halfway point of the season, but hey, gives you practice ready for next season. So come out and have some fun on that one. But yeah, I think overall he's been a great evening of racing, of course. Just going to pop the calendar up on the screen. So we do head to Jerez, Montreal, Imola, Rebel Ring, and finish off the season at Zandvoort. So you're looking forward to that. We're still growing. We've got some to come back as well. We've got Andy to come in, of course. So yeah, looking forward to this one.
Well, that's it for us here on the JP Broadcasting Network. So you've joined myself, Alex Goldschmidt, and James Parfitt. Once again, Interlagos, magical circuit. It always delivers. Join us in 7 days' time when we hit the halfway point of the 2025 winter season for Sim Racing for Simpletons. Don't forget, you can catch more racing action of the virtual kind, of course, here on the JP Broadcasting Network. So don't forget to follow us on social media, like, share, and subscribe. Well, race hard, race fair, and if in doubt, you better go flat out. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye for now.